If Pyros and Crips all got along, they probably got me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear drop, 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 drop.
Yo, what the fuck happened? What was that? How the fuck did they lose that game? They had him, and then they kicked the fucking field goal, and they didn't have it. See, moments like this is why you have Cam Newton. Cause you saw on that 3rd and 3, like this dude Mac Jones, he got pressured, boom, just threw it away. You know what Cam Newton would have done? He would have ran for that first down. If Cam Newton was there, he would have ran for that first down. They would have bled the clock out. They would have kicked the fucking field goal. But no. I mean, Mac Jones, the accurate man, he's better than Cam. You know what I mean? So y'all Patriots fans, I don't want to hear it, Patriots fans. Y'all are fucking stupid. See, if I were the Patriots, I would have preferred to get Trey Lance, because Trey Lance is someone where you have leverage with Trey Lance, because you could because here's the thing about Mac Jones, because Mac Jones is like quote unquote pro ready, so it's like you kind of have the pressure to start him. But when you have Trey Lance, you know what I mean? I know he just started his first game, but that was because Jimmy G got injured. But he's like supposed to be sitting for a year. Like, he's supposed to be learning about Jimmy G. So if you had Trey Lance, then you'd have an excuse to still have Cam Newton. But now you don't have Cam Newton. Now you have Mac Jones, who is not Tom Brady, by the way. He's alright, but literally all this dude does is throw checkdowns. Now, I said that about Brady when he was on the Patriots, but I mean, he's proven me wrong, because he's throwing that ball down the field now. You know, in Tampa, like, he wasn't doing that shit on the Patriots, but he's doing that shit in Tampa. So I can't say he can't throw deep. You know, I cannot say that. But I mean, Mac Jones. Here's the thing. I'm gonna make this video in like a couple days talking about this shit. But I think the way that QB draft went was just screwed up for all the teams. All the teams screwed up. Like the Patriots, they should have gotten Trey Lance. The Jets, they should have gotten Mac Jones. And the 49ers, they should have gotten Zach Wilson. That's what should have happened. That would have been the ideal scenario. So Zach Wilson just won a game. Yip-de-doo, but you want to see what his fucking stats are for the season? Like, what is it? Like, I think he's thrown like 4 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Whoop-de-doo, he won against a team without his 2 starting receivers. You know what I mean? So it's like, Zach Wilson does not fit the fucking Jets. I don't know why the Jets wanted him, but the Jets, if they hired an offensive guy, then I would say get Zach Wilson. But they hired Robert Saleh, and you know what needs to happen when you hire a defensive coordinator as a head coach? You need to get a guy in the draft that can take care of the ball. And Zach Wilson, his big playability works in an offense that knows how to develop him. Like Kyle Shanahan will go crazy with Zach Wilson, but the Jets don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't have any offensive talent in terms of coaching. Now, they have offensive talent in terms of receivers. They have Elijah Moore. They have Corey Davis. They have James Crowder. But that's about it. Because their O-line is pretty sus. You know, their O-line is pretty sus. They have no tight ends. They have no running backs. So outside of receivers, their offense is complete garbage. And they have no offensive system. Their offensive system is to act like Zach Wilson is Aaron Rodgers when he's not close to Aaron Rodgers. I would say Zach Wilson kind of reminds me of Ryan Tannehill. I'm not talking about Dolphins Ryan Tannehill. He kind of reminds me of like Titans Ryan Tannehill, where like he's good, you know what I mean? But he needs to be in the right system. Because you saw Ryan Tannehill when he was on the Dolphins. This man was fucking booty cheeks. You know what I mean? Booty cheeks. He was fucking trash on the Dolphins. But once he went to the Titans, now he's in the discussion of top 10 QBs. So I think that's what it is. Anyone who's saying Aaron Rodgers was Zach Wilson, that was retarded from the beginning. I said all along, this dude Ryan Tannehill, you put him in the right offense, he'll be great. You put him in the wrong offense, he's gonna be trash. He is not the type of guy who can elevate a franchise that's trash. You need to put him in the right system, which is why I thought if he goes to 49ers, this kid's gonna be a stud. But he went to the Jets, so they're gonna ruin him. Now for Mac Jones, the reason I said Mac Jones, the Jets, because Mac Jones, the thing I'll say about him, he has the highest floor of anyone from this draft. He's the one guy I knew wasn't going to be complete trash. Now, I say he's trash all the time, but the reason I say that is because he's not exceptional. Because in order to be a starter in this league, in the NFL, you have to be exceptional. You got Mahomes, you got Jackson, you got Watson, you got Allen, you got Rodgers, Brady, all these guys. They're exceptional. You know what I mean? And Zach, and then like, what is it? And then you have Mac Jones, who's maybe above average, slightly above average. You know what I mean? At most, I think he's going to be Kirk Cousins. And now people are going to say I'm hating, but Kirk Cousins in Washington was a bad motherfucker. Washington, Kirk Cousins is a bad motherfucker. Now on the Vikings, not so much, but he did lead the Vikings to a win. You know what I mean? He was top 5 in passing last year. He has been doing pretty well this year. So Kirk Cousins on the Patriots, you know what I mean? That could work. But honestly, I think the Patriots, the way their scheme works is a power run scheme. So you need a running quarterback to make that work. If they did the scheme they ran with Tom Brady, which is like a bunch of slot receivers, a bunch of like check down, a bunch of backs that could like catch passes, then I say that worked for Mac Jones. But they have Damian Harris, you know, they have Ramondre Stevenson, they got the 2 tight ends, you know, they have receivers they're pretty one-dimensional. So that means it's like a power run offense. Just imagine if they had Trey Lance or just kept Cam Newton, you know, like then they could just run read option all fucking day long, or they can hand off to Damian Harris, and they wouldn't have to rely on Mac Jones throwing checkdowns every 5 plays. Because this dude Mac Jones, if you're the Jets, you want Mac Jones. You don't want a Zach Wilson. Now Trevor Lawrence is an exception because Trevor Lawrence, you know, he's supposed to be like the top guy. He's supposed to be generational talent. I don't see it, but if you pass on Trevor Lawrence, you're a fucking idiot. But if you don't get Trevor Lawrence, you gotta get the guy. In this instance, I say you don't take a risk, you take the safe pick. The safe pick was Mac Jones. Because now, I mean, Zach Wilson, he just won a game. Whoop-de-doo. But long term, this isn't gonna work. This is not gonna work. He does not fit the Jets. He can't air off the ball with the dude, with like... If he had Kyle Shanahan, he'd be doing the same shit and it'd be working. Those would be completions. But because he's on the Jets, those are interceptions. You feel me? So, because Kyle Shanahan would scheme those receivers open. But the problem is, I don't know who the hell they hired. They hired like Mike LaFleur or whatever the hell his name is, who did not do shit, by the way. Like, that offense is literally ran by Kyle Shanahan. I don't know what the fuck this dude does. You know what I mean? So, the Kyle Shanahan's literally the offensive coordinator and the head coach. Whoever they say is the offensive coordinator is literally just a figurehead. Because we all know that Kyle Shanahan calls those fucking that was automatically horseshit. And what I'm saying basically is Trey Lance on this team, he'd be doing good, but at the same time, that's the best long-term option. Because if you have Mac Jones on the Patriots, you know what I mean? Because it's not just because, you know what I mean, the pressure to succeed Brady. It's because he plays like Brady and he looks like Brady and his mannerisms are like Brady. So all that's gonna happen, he's just gonna be like, oh, who never used Brady. But then you have Trey Lance, he has a completely different skill set than Tom Brady. So all we'd be talking about, unlike Tom Brady, Trey Lance can move. Unlike Tom Brady, this dude throws a better deep ball on the run, like shit like that. But for Mac Jones, he's always going to be under Brady's shadow. So I don't think that's a good situation for him. But if you have him on the Jets, you know, Robert Saleh is a great defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach, but he's a great defensive coordinator. You know, Mac Jones is going to take care of that ball. You know what I mean? Run the ball like 50 times. You know what I mean? Throw checkdowns to Jameson Crowder and Braxton Barrios. And they be popping, you know what I mean? The Jets would win a lot of games with Mac Jones because the problem is they have the Jameis Winston issue. They have the Jameis Winston issue where the guy who throws for a lot of yards, you know, he has big playability, but at the same time he turns the ball over, which puts the defense at risk. Because the defense surprisingly has been top 10 this year, but because Zach Wilson has all these turnovers, it's screwing over the defense. Now they're getting tired. You got Mac Jones, he doesn't turn the ball over. You know what I mean? What you do, here's how I would completely change the Jets. I would swap Corey Davis with Kendrick Bourne. You know what I mean? Like, you got the San Fran connection. I would swap Corey Davis with Kendrick Bourne, and then I'd spend that bag I spent on Corey Davis on Chris Carson instead of fucking Tevin Coleman. If Tevin Coleman is your number one back, you're not winning shit. I'm sorry. He's like a good complimentary back, but if he's your number one back, you're not winning shit. And the Michael Carter dude they got, he's but he's a number 2 running back. He's not a number 1. So I think they should have done that. And instead of getting Elijah Moore, they should have got Javonte Williams. So that now you have Chris Carson and Javonte Williams. You know what I mean? You have Chris Carson, you have Javonte Williams. The motherfucker is just gonna run the shit out of the ball. Then you got Kendrick Bourne, you know what I mean, to catch those slants. You got Kendrick Bourne and Jameson Crowder to catch those slants from Mac Jones. Maybe Denzel Mims can be the third receiver, or maybe you go out and get like a receiver like 3rd, 4th, 5th round. But with Mac Jones, you don't need him to air off the ball. He's fine just like checking it down and playing like managing the game. He's fine with doing that. You don't have to air the ball out with Mac Jones. You know, that's how you fucking win games. Because what I'll say about Mac Jones, I'll give him credit for this. If Mac Jones was there instead of Jimmy G, you know, they probably win that Super Bowl because he does not turn the ball over. He takes care of the ball very well. The problem is he's not exceptional. The one downside to him is, okay, you can make a case he got carried by his receivers. But at the same time, I feel like he places the ball where the receivers can get them. That's the one thing I'll say about him. He places the ball where the receivers can get him. He has great football IQ, but his arm talent is very limited. His mobility is very limited. Those are two things that if you're the Patriots, you know, and you don't have fucking Tom Brady, that's not gonna work. You know, because Bill Belichick is a great defensive coordinator, but I feel like the Patriots, their offense has moved on from that style. You know, They got rid of all the slot receivers, like Julian Edelman retired. You know what I mean? They should have embraced Trey Lance. They should have. But the only way that would happen is if the 49ers were like, hey, you know what? We'll move up one spot. You know, we'll move up one spot to number 2. You move down to number 3. You get Zach Wilson, and you get Mac Jones. And then Trey Lance would probably fall to the Patriots. I think that would have been a better fit for everyone. But you saw that. You saw in those last moments when they needed Cam Newton. You saw in those last moments that Mac Jones is not going to lose you games. But at the same time, he's not going to win you games. He doesn't have that quality yet. And he probably won't until they build the offense around him. Which is basically fucking impossible because their entire personnel was intended to fit a read option QB. So Trey Lance, Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, that's the type of QB that would fit in this offense. But for Mac Jones, I would say either the 49ers or the Jets. Those are the 2 teams that would fit him. But I think for the 49ers, there'd be a lot of pressure for Mac Jones because, you know, they're a Super Bowl contender. But if he goes to the Jets, they don't have expectations. Mac Jones can just thrive, you know, play with a great defensive coordinator, manage the game, run the shit out of the ball, throw to Kendrick Bourne and Jameson Crowder on third down, you know, and they can win a lot of games. So everyone really screwed up, honestly, in the draft. I think everyone screwed up. I mean, outside of Jacksonville. Because Jacksonville, obviously, they needed to pick Trevor Lawrence number 1. Because if the Jaguars did not pick Trevor Lawrence number 1, there would be riots in Jacksonville. And I think the Bears did a good job with Justin Fields. Because I think he fits their system. Because they have like a spread offense, which is kind of what fits Justin Fields, because he's not a guy who's just going to beat you from the block. He's a guy who can beat you moving around. You know, you give him a great running back. You have Allen Robinson. You have Darnell Mooney. So he was a great pick. That was a great pick by the Bears. The Jaguars had a great pick. But the Jets, they fucked up. The Patriots, they fucked up. The 49ers, they fucked up. Because right now, you see with Jimmy G, he's good, but he has a ceiling. You know, you put in Zach Wilson, here's the thing. You can't play Trey Lance. Because right now, you know, they put in Trey Lance, and this motherfucker got smoked by Kyler Murray. But you put in Zach Wilson, I don't think that happens. I honestly don't think that happens. I think Kyler Murray, or I think Zach Wilson would go toe-to-toe with Kyler Murray. Because the problem with Trey Lance, you don't have the leverage to bench Jimmy G. If you had Zach Wilson, Jimmy G would be on the hot seat every fucking game. You don't have that luxury with Trey Lance. This dude is not ready yet. You sit him for a year behind Cam Newton. You try to win a Super Bowl with his defense, and then once Trey Lance is ready, you put him in. But I guess that's why I'm not a general manager. But I've been kind of going off topic. Not really, because I'm talking about how the Patriots could have won the game. Like if they just drafted correctly and made the right decisions, basically. But I mean, other than that, I don't have much to say. I mean, the Patriots, they'll never be a losing team, but I don't know if they're gonna ever get back to that Super Bowl mountaintop because they don't have a QB that fits their system. You know what I mean? And it's gonna take a long time to rebuild that offense. Because that entire offense, they just signed a bunch of new guys. They signed Hunter Henry, they signed Johnny Smith, you know what I mean, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, you know what I mean, Damien Harris. Like that entire offense has just got signed. I mean, and the defense looks ready to win right now. So it's like the pieces just don't have. And they have Josh Allen, you know, in that division. So it's not looking good for the Patriots. I think they'll make the playoffs this year. Maybe maybe they can win a game, maybe not. But I don't see them going farther than a divisional round. I really don't. I think this team is a wild card to divisional round team at best for like the next 10, 20 years with Mac Jones. They'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they'll ever win the Super Bowl with him. So, I mean, you got your guy, Bill. You got your guy. You got the Alabama guy. You know, him and the Nick Saban connection. But you got it. Here's the thing. When you've been stuck so long on one thing, you gotta try something completely different. Let's make this analogy. Like, for example, in football, if you have that like scrawny athletic kid, or you have that scrawny kid who has good IQ but can't move, you get a big athlete that can move. You know what I mean? It's like, let's say you're dating a girl. Let's say the first girl you dated, you know, you broke up with her. She was like, I don't know how I really don't know this analogy goes. Maybe this way. Maybe the first one, it's like, she's very outgoing, you know, she's very friendly, maybe she talks to guys and girls, you know what I mean? And then you end up breaking up with her. You know, and she's like, very athletic, all that shit. But deep down, I mean, here's the thing, you're a nerd. Let's say you're part nerd, you're part sports guy. Because I'm a little bit of both. I have a little bit of nerd in me, I have a little bit of sports guy in me. But if the first girl you date is a sports girl, like an athlete, the second girl you date should probably be in it. Because you gotta try something different. Because the problem is they're trying to replicate Tom Brady with Mac Jones, but he's not and will never be Tom Brady. But if they got Trey Lance, that's a completely different type of QB. That's a type of that they've never seen. Because I ain't never seen them with a running QB. I've never seen, outside of Cam Newton, obviously. Outside of Cam Newton, I've never seen them with a running QB. You know what I mean? With the dude that can extend plays, throw around. I've never seen that. Because Tom Brady is a great pocket QB, but once you ask him to move outside the pocket and like make plays, that's where he struggles. That's where he's always struggled. But he never has to worry with that because he's always had a great O-line. The Buccaneers had a great O-line. The Patriots have always had a great O-line. So you never really have to worry about that type of shit. You get Trey Lance, bro. Like, I'm telling you, bro. Trey Lance in this offense in a couple years from now would be fucking lethal. You know? And then also you get the leverage of keeping Cam Newton because of this reason. Because Trey Lance needs talking about. You don't have the pressure of the fan base to go start Mac Jones because he's NFL ready. So everyone would benefit. Mac Jones, the Jets. Zach Wilson, the 49ers. Trey Lance, the Patriots. Everyone benefits. Everyone wins. You keep Cam Newton. You make a Super Bowl run. You're probably 3-1 by now, I would say. Good. Let's run over their schedule. So, let's look at the teams they won against. Let's see what teams they would lose against. All that shit. So, what the hell? Bro. Yo, I hate these fucking ads. Okay. Okay, so for like 2 seconds, let me check on that shit. Okay. So far on the season, they are now 1-3. Now, a lot of those losses were like very close losses. Okay, they lost the Dolphins by 1 point. Ain't no fucking way you can tell me that Cam Newton is gonna lose to Tua. I don't believe it. I don't think it's gonna happen. So Cam is not losing Tua. This man smacked the Tua. This dude smacked Tua in the ass last year with no fucking weapons. So that's not happening. So that's automatically 1-0. Then obviously the Jets is going to win. And I think they go into New Orleans and win that game because They played it good enough to win that game. It's just Mac Jones was turning the ball over. His limitations were exploited by the Saints, and Jameis just made plays that Mac Jones can only dream of. So that was a loss. So right now, I'd say they'd be 3-0, and then Cam Newton finally owns Tom Brady. This dude is 2-0 against Tom Brady, so I think he would be 3-0 against Tom Brady, because you saw that game came down to one play. You know what I mean? Because the thing about Cam Newton, the thing about the Patriots is they were trying to run the ball all game, but Buccaneers' run defense wouldn't let them. But with Cam Newton, you have the read option, you have the RPO, you have the read option you have to worry about. So you can't completely stack the box on Damian Harris. So Damian Harris is free to run, or Cam Newton is free to run. So the run game would be looking a lot better. You see what Lamar does for the Ravens run game. They can never decide, are they going to hand it off to J.K. Dobbins, or are they going to take it off with Lamar? And that's what the Patriots would need. Is they tried to bleed out this clock, but they couldn't because Cam Newton, or because Mac Jones cannot run. So, had they kept Cam Newton, he probably would have ran for that first down. He probably would have ran out the clock. They'd probably be within field goal range, so that this dude didn't have to doink the kick. So, all in all, Patriots, y'all fucked up. Y'all should have kept Cam. Now, Mac Jones, he played a good game, but shit like this at the end of the game is why you should have kept Cam. You know what I mean? It's all about situational football. He played a good game, but at the very end, there was just something missing that I think Cam Newton would have been able to accomplish, that I think Trey Lance would be able to accomplish over the long term. Now, with that being said, I'm out. Peace.